Sex. The whole principle of this yoga is to give oneself entirely to the divine alone and to nobody and to nothing else, and to bring down into ourselves by union with the Divine Mother Power all the transcendent light, force, wideness, peace, purity, truth consciousness, and ananda of the supramental divine. In this yoga, therefore, there can be no place for vital relations or interchanges with others. Still worse would it be if this interchange took the form of a sexual relation or a sexual enjoyment, even if kept free from any outward act. Therefore, these things are absolutely forbidden in the sadhana. It goes without saying that any physical act of the kind is not allowed, but also any subtler form is ruled out. It is only after becoming one with the supramental divine that we can find our true spiritual relations with others in the divine. In that higher unity, this kind of gross lower vital movement can have no place. Letters on Yoga 4. The action of the animal sex energy in nature is a device for a particular purpose in the economy of the material creation in the ignorance. But the vital excitement that accompanies it makes the most favorable opportunity and vibration in the atmosphere for the inrush of those very vital forces and beings whose whole business is to prevent the descent of the supramental light. The pleasure attached to it is a degradation and not a true form of the divine ananda. The true divine ananda in the physical has a different quality and movement and substance, self-existent in its essence. Its manifestation is dependent only on an inner union with the divine. Letters on Yoga 4. It, abstaining from sex, is not a question of fear. It is a question of choosing between the divine peace and ananda and the degraded pleasure of sex, between the divine and the attraction of women. Letters on Yoga 4. At any rate, in this yoga, which seeks not only the essential experience of the divine, but the transformation of the whole being and nature, I have found it an absolute necessity of the sadhana to aim at a complete mastery over the sex force. Otherwise, the vital consciousness remains a turbid mixture, the turbidity affecting the purity of the spiritualized mind and seriously hindering the upward turn of the forces of the body. This yoga demands a full ascension of the whole lower or ordinary consciousness to join the spiritual above it, and a full descent of the spiritual, eventually of the supramental, into the mind, life, and body to transform it. The total ascent is impossible so long as sex desire blocks the way. The descent is dangerous so long as sex desire is powerful in the vital. Letters on Yoga 4. As for the method of mastery, it cannot be done by physical abstinence alone. It proceeds by a process of combined attachment and rejection. The consciousness stands back from the sex impulse, feels it as not its own, as something alien thrown on it by nature force, to which it refuses assent or identification. Each time a certain movement of rejection throws it more and more outward. The mind remains unaffected. After a time, the vital being, which is the chief support, withdraws from it in the same way. Finally, the physical consciousness no longer supports it. This process continues until even the subconscious can no longer rouse it up in dream, and no farther movement comes from the outer nature force to rekindle this lower fire. Letters on Yoga 4. In yoga, the proper means is to train the mind and vital to meet women without thought of sex, to look on them as sadhaks and human beings only, not as objects of sexual possession and enjoyment. Letters on Yoga 4. Strength and purity in the lower vital and wideness in the heart are the best condition for meeting others, especially women, and if that could always be there, sex could hardly have a look in. Letters on Yoga 4. It has to be said that the total elimination of the sex impulse is one of the most difficult things in sadhana, and one must be prepared for it to take time. but its total disappearance has been achieved, and a practical liberation crossed only by occasional dream movements from the subconscious is fairly common. Letters on Yoga 4.